we go with an Out and About with Jamie Grout shortcast, and this is kind of a make good shortcast video with Sam Cox, who is a mayoral candidate in the city of Grinnell. And Sam, thanks for taking the time. She drove all the way over to Newton to do
Thank
this.
you for having me.
At the library. So we're excited to have her with this make good video. And we'll ask you some of the same questions that I ask in the podcast, only a week later. And because of some family health issues you had to take care of, not for yourself, but for your family, we're going to go ahead and ask you some of the same things that we did before. But first of all, tell us a bit about yourself and your family history, Sam.
Okay, so I was not born in Grinnell, Iowa, but raised in Grinnell, Iowa. I am the third of three daughters to Charles and Mary Barnum. We were raised in a very blue-collar environment. My dad was a proud employee at Maytag, and my mom worked at Geldwin. So I watched my parents kind of struggle and stretch our whole lives to make ends meet and do what parents do to keep their families afloat. And what that instilled in me was an incredible work ethic. I started babysitting when I was very young to try to earn extra money to buy those special sneakers that everybody wants or the special jeans that everybody has. And so I just always knew that if I wanted things, I had to work for them. Mm-hmm. And so I feel incredibly fortunate to have that work ethic. And it's also something that I, have passed on to my children, that it's just very important for you to do the job and support yourself and toe the line in order to get the things that you want.
We talked a little bit about this before we started this video podcast, and that was there are a lot of issues that people probably talk to you about, having the coffee shop that you have in Grinnell. What are some of the issues that people are concerned about? Because I'm sure people want you to cheerlead for various different issues, being mayor, even though you don't always, being mayor, get to vote on things unless it's a tie. But they do want you to support different things that they support. What do they talk to you about, Sam?
Sure. So, first and foremost, like the mayor position, which you and I've spoken about, is largely ceremonial. But we do, in the occasion of a tie, we do actually get a vote. So I get to talk to a lot of people downtown about, because I'm downtown, because my coffee shop is downtown, I get to talk to a lot of customers that come downtown, a lot of our counterparts that have businesses downtown. So we're all concerned about like the empty storefronts in Grinnell. How do we bring more businesses to Grinnell? How do we bring more restaurants to Grinnell? And I think anyone that's out there doing what we're doing, whether it's myself or Russ or somebody on the city council, it really is about how do we grow Grinnell and help it stay afloat for the long run, bring in new businesses, bring in new people. So clearly that's on everyone's agenda as well as my own. I'm a huge people person. You and I have talked about that. Like, I want to make sure that everybody has what they need to feel secure, right? Do they have enough food on their table? Are they able to pay their bills? What can we do to help them in whatever ways that we can as a city to help people like have the security that they need? So that's important to me. You and I have both talked about also that we are huge animal lovers. So I'm a big supporter of our community and the animal lovers that are in it, and what can we do to make sure that our loved ones and pets in the community are being taken care of as well. So that's on my plate. And right now we just get so many questions, whether it's from Grinnell Herald Register, whether it's from Grinnell Neighbor to Neighbor, whether it's from you. Like, I have a laundry list of issues that people want us to address, and it's everything from housing to property taxes to bringing in more businesses. And the answer is I do not have a specific department that I would cheerlead for. I'm going to listen to the city employees, to the city manager, to the people on the council as to what is needed in this moment, what's needed in 6 months, what's needed this year. And every year that's changing. It's about what's important. But first and foremost, I want the people of Grinnell to be supported. And secondly, I want to make sure that we're able to attract more things to Grinnell in order to make it easier for us to all stay afloat.
In the last year, the school system had a big vote.
They did.
And what are your feelings about the school system in Grinnell these days?
Well, one, I'm super excited that we managed to pass a bond that was going to help us get another school. So if anybody knows anything about me, I was custodian at Fairview School during COVID because I did not want to leave my employees without a job. And so I left my business, left my employees in my business to run it. And then I went and was a custodian. I was a night custodian. My husband is the head custodian at Bailey, and so I'm very familiar with like the needs of some of our buildings and the fact that we really did need something newer and better and just like more efficient and safer for our kids. So I was super excited that we passed that. I think we have a lovely school district. I think we've got good people in place that are trying to do their jobs and make the most of what they can. Clearly, when we brought in private vouchers, that's something that a lot of smaller communities are struggling with. Like, they're having to do more with less. And so I support our teachers, I support our staff, I support our superintendent, the school board, like in just trying to do the best they can with what they have. And I think they are really making some progress in that area.
Somebody spoke to me about the old GTE building and that area has kind of become an eyesore. What do you think or should be done with that area? What about the future plans for that area?
So I live in that neighborhood. I'm only about maybe 4 or 5 blocks from that area. I understand people's frustrations as they feel like it hasn't been maintained along 11th Avenue the way that they would like it to be. The sidewalk has been taken up, so you can no longer walk. There's a couple blocks there you're going to miss on a sidewalk. So on 11th, a developer has purchased those properties and will be building twin homes in that area. The other side is being like graded and evened out, and those lots will be for sale to individuals as well as developers. So it's going to be a small housing community. I hope that it's going to be like intimate and quaint, and it's going to offer like a nice area for people to like take their families, and also a small park area where the kids in our neighborhood can also have a place to go and enjoy. So I think the city council is aware of the fact that it has been kind of like let go a little bit, and I think they're working with the contractors to do a better job.
Living in Newton, we've had a problem with dilapidated homes, and we got
Yes.
rid of some of them, and we built up townhomes and duplexes and things like that. Do you see that as a problem in Grinnell? And would you like to see some of those homes destroyed and replaced with something else?
I mean, I think, progress is always important. I think Grinnell tries very hard to maintain the homes in Grinnell if they can. That's a high bar to get to. They have taken a couple of homes and taken them down, and then, they have put new homes in those places. And obviously that's what we all want. We want a safe home for people to live in. And if that home is no longer safe and the people do not have the means with which to make it safe again, then we have to come up with another plan. And so I think that progress is good. I think that we want to offer help where we can, and I know Grinnell does do that also. They do help people that are in need, like try to fix up their homes a little bit and make them nicer and more safe. So I think progress is a good thing. I mean, while I love for people to renovate old homes because they're beautiful, that doesn't mean that every house is salvageable. And I think Grinnell does a nice job of making those decisions and moving forward.
So last year I had a real good podcast with Ann Harris, the president of Grinnell College, and I know she works hard to have a good relationship with the city and the students and all that. Mm-hmm. How do you feel about the relationship between Grinnell College and the city and the business community in general?
I think, particularly if you're a downtown business owner, so if you're anybody that's downtown on the square, if you're McNally's, if you're any of our restaurants, if you are our coffee shop, you realize that Grinnell College is a very large part of our community and what they bring to the table. As you and I talked about earlier, Grinnell College employs about 900 people. Right. The students inject about $2.1 million into our economy every year. If we were to lose 900 employees and we were to lose $2.1 million, I don't know how many businesses would be able to stay the course. Mm-hmm. So I think, one, we have a lovely, lovely college. Mm-hmm. I love and adore the students that come into my shop. They are my friends. They're like the kids that I take under my wings, and it's just so fun and interesting to learn and meet new people. And then it's great to meet their parents who come like once a month, or they come for parents weekend, and you just get to know these people, and it's so nice for the diversity and the culture that they bring to our community. So I am a supporter of Grinnell College. I firmly believe that a rising tide raises all boats. I will say that they pay taxes. I know there are a lot of rumors and inconsistencies going around in town about them not paying their fair share. They do pay taxes. If you have any questions about that, that's obviously something any of us could probably talk to you about. But I think they bring a lot to our community, and I think our community would be a lot less without them.
What about those conservatives, the right wingers that say those damn liberal kids?
You know, surprisingly, there are Republicans on campus, just so you know. They exist. I don't think, so what I love, and it's crazy to me, Grinnell College does a wonderful job of teaching kids to think for themselves. Like, they have a crazy amount of writing to do. I don't know if you guys have ever, if you know anything about any of the college students, but I can tell you how incredibly hard their workload is. Like, I would have buckled under that. I would have never made it. But it teaches those kids to just hit the ground and to really think outside of the box. And even Grinnell College and their students do not always agree, right? Like, and so you have this fine line of wanting the kids to be independent and think independently, but you also be like, oh, okay, like that's not something that we're going to be able to do at Grinnell College. And so I think there's an interesting conversation that's had on the campus. I think also, as you and I've talked about before, like, I am a moderate Democrat. I'm a conservative Democrat. That is what I describe myself as. Not everybody that is a Democrat is a damn liberal. Not all of us are incredibly left-leaning. I mean, I think, and as you and I've said, I talked about, there is room for everyone at our table. It does not matter to me what side of the fence that you are on. I believe that there's room for everyone. As long as you're not mean and disrespectful, I want to have a conversation. And I think you'd be surprised at how many people on Grinnell College campus want to have those conversations also, because they're taught to think that way and to be open-minded in that way.
Okay. We are running out of time, unfortunately. This has gone real quick. Just to wrap up, why should people vote for you?
Y'all, I love Grinnell. I love everything about it, whether it's good, bad, or ugly. Like, I am a hard worker. I bring that to the table. I am approachable. I am honest. I am here to have a conversation with you. So, as I tell everybody, my hands aren't soft, my fingernails are dirty, and I do the work. So if you ever have any questions or you want to have a conversation with me, I'm here for you. So give me a shot.
Okay. She made me want to check my fingernails. Let me see. They're clean.
Are they calloused, Jamie? Have you done the work?
A
little bit.
Yeah, well, pushing buttons on a control board.
He's got them on his finger.
There you go. Okay. Sam Cox, candidate for mayor of Grinnell. And that's going to wrap it up. Sam, thank you very much for joining me today.
Yep. Thank you.
On this Out and About with Jamie Grout shortcast. Going a little long today. This is a make good video that we couldn't get in last week for Sam. So we wanted to get that taken care of. Thanks for joining me. And until next time, Grout is out. See ya.